Hey, how we doing? I'm going to be reviewing the IXCC mechanical keyboard. It is fully mechanical. You can hear by the nice mechanical switches, and has a gold-plated USB 2.0 connector. I haven't done testing to see if gold-plated against the regular. I would assume it's just like a cheapo zinc or something plating that's on the other connectors makes a difference. I don't even know if it's actual gold or if it's just a conductive paint. Couldn't tell you. But the stress relief here and the head of the cable itself is all extremely sturdy. There's very little flex in this head of the cable, which plays into the stress relief here. And the lighting's kind of off. I look really weird right now, but that's because this is a RGB backlit keyboard, so I can't have the lighting up too much. The cable, however, we're going to turn the lighting on just for this, and then I will turn it off again. There we go. Now you can actually see what I'm talking about here. So the stress relief on this guy in the head of it, very sturdy. I'm actually kind of impressed. The most stress reliefs have the cuts taken out of it so that it gets more flexibility, but since the head of this is so large, that's what she said, it acts as part of the stress relief, especially since it has a tiny bit of flex to it. The cable is actually fairly nice. It's not braided, which is what I want. I prefer a braided cable, but this is still a very nice, thick cable. I don't have one to compare right now, but this is actually thicker than the power cord wire for my laptop that I'm going to be using to demo the RGB. Does come with a noise suppression module on it and a little cable tie here to keep things tidy if needed. Now where it attaches to the keyboard, the stress relief on the keyboard side, not very impressive. I will admit that. Not very impressive. This is a full-size, all-mechanical keyboard. Let me just plug in over there. And I don't know if you caught that, so I'll do it again when the lights are off, but it's fully mechanical. Nice noises. Has a number pad as well, so again, full size. No extra or special keys or anything. Everything is function hotkeys, which I like. I think that's great. The face of it here is all metal, which I can't show too well, but it is indeed all metal. The back, however, is plastic, which unfortunately the Amazon listing said that it was a full metal keyboard. It is not on the back, but it does have flip out feet up top to give you about an inch of rise. Close to an inch. The feet are rubberized even, which is something I've never seen on a keyboard. The feet are rubberized so that it doesn't move fairly easily. It also has rubberized pads when the feet aren't extended. A cool thing about this, when you take all the keys off, it has Torx screws, no, the Phillips screws in the top two corners. You can unscrew that, pull the face off, and really clean down underneath all the keys and everything. I think that's really cool. My cats are fighting. That's about it for the keyboard itself, you can also take the feet from the top and move them into the feet for the bottom. And that's just gives you a little bit of rise in the other direction, so you can tilt it either way depending on what you need. So now I'm going to turn the lights off and ooh, pretty. So we'll demonstrate when you plug it in. It does have an effect to let you know that it is on. This effect won't happen if your keyboard is already plugged into your computer and you power your computer on. So this gives you the RGB, red, green, blue, right? So right now I prefer this. This is the ripple or wave effect. So it starts on whatever key you're on and goes outward like a ripple in water. Works with every key. Goes through the whole gambit of colors there. And if you want to change the color mode, it's function and insert. So let me zoom on that. So function and insert, and it has a M for the function key there. So this one, zoom back out, will light up all the keys surrounding the one that you just pressed. Not my ideal. I don't dig it. So if I were to type something like, right, that was just hi, my name is, you'd be able to tell which key you pressed. I mean, maybe it's good for gaming, I don't really know. And then next one is just the super common wave from left to right. I'm not a fan. And then this is just the steady mode. What did I? Oop. It's been a while since I've changed anything, so I have to remember the keys. So function up and down is change brightness, obviously. That's kind of common one. And then function and delete. And the color right here is a little off on the camera, but it's showing like a yellowish. Function delete changes colors when you're in the steady. And if we count here, so starting at red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 7 different colors. Function insert again. And this is the aura or breathing, so it gets dim and then bright. And you can also change colors on this. Red is the most easy to see. And you can also brightness up and down with that. And then the next one, this is probably going to be the most useful for gaming. It just lights up, so if you were in your room at night and it was dark, couldn't see your keyboard, it lights up escape, WASD, and the keypad or the arrow keys. Probably going to be the most useful for gaming. This one you can't change color, but you can change the brightness. And this just goes through the colors without the dimming effect, the breathing. Of course, you can brightness up, brightness down. Can't change colors with delete, but on to the next one. This is another one that would be kind of useful for gaming. Let you know what key you last pressed. Unfortunately, if I were to keep hitting the H, the color doesn't change. I would like it if it did, so if I hit the H, it was pink there. You have to wait a bit. You can't just keep pressing. I'd like it to change. That's just me. But Next one. Another one of the wave, except without the different colors this time. So you can change it. We'll go to red. Or even, I didn't know it had this one. Huh. So it separates it by row. That one's kind of cool, actually. There's this one. And this one you can adjust the speed. So there's really fast, or I can make it super slow. And back around. But I want to check, sorry, this one. Can I adjust the speed? Yes, I can adjust the speed. Oops, I bumped it, sorry. So you can adjust the speed like that. However, this is my favorite. This is where I'm going to keep it. There's also function escape. Gives you the RGB thing. It's to reset it to default. Then I will just pan over here and zoom. See on the L1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it has presets. So let's go back. Get this back in frame. There. If I do function 1, gaming preset, function 2. This is another, these are all gaming presets, I should have mentioned that, sorry. But this one will illuminate commonly used keys for games. Same thing here, just different keys. Again, and then that one. That's all of the RGB presets, so let me go back to my favorite. And while typing this, with this, I have noticed sometimes that the spacebar is really easy to push down. That's because there's only one switch underneath it. It does have supports on either side. I just wish that it had multiple switches. The supports do a fairly good job, but they don't add any sort of resistance down. They just keep it from side to side kind of thing. I wish that it would have more switches, just, or at least springs on the supports on either side, so that it's, you know, you get a universal feel down. Pushing over here gives a different feel than pushing right over the switch. That's all. Nothing too bad. The build quality on this, I'm actually really surprised. So if I pull up my Amazon here, and we'll see how much I paid for this. I really should have had this done beforehand. But while I'm doing that, we can talk about this some more, because my laptop is incredibly slow. Don't make fun of how I type. I never could learn how to type like you're supposed to. I kind of do like a mixture of hunt and peck type kind of thing. But with the metal face, I do enjoy that. It kind of gives me a little bit of peace of mind that I'm not going to bump this with something and crack the plastic. Me being a mechanic, metal's nice. I like metal. You can probably hear my cats fighting still. It's all play fighting, by the way. They're not actually trying to hurt each other. Ooh, no, wrong account. This will actually help you to see the and since I don't want you to see my password, we're gonna go like this. Actually, we don't have to. I can just type on the keyboard. The laptop keyboard, since that's not in frame. Alright, while I navigate to my orders here, mechanics like metal. We do. All these keys do come off, and there is the key caps, which I realized is a fairly important part of this. There's the key caps. It looks to be double shot injection molded, which is the more high quality keycaps. They will last longer, and I'm going to once again try and zoom in as best I can on the keycaps here, or on the keys. So this is not, it doesn't claim to be a Cherry MX Blue switch. I don't think it's a Cherry MX Blue switch. So since it hasn't claimed to be such, I'm not going to say it is, and not going to dock points. As far as I know, it's a knockoff, like the Kali Blue kind of thing. But that said, it does feel nice. It does not feel cheap. The keystrokes work every time. I've never had any issues. Put that back on. All of the keys are removable. You can put them on in any orientation. Like, that's obviously wrong. Did not come with a key puller. I wish it did. Let's get back centered here. Still looking. There it is. Okay. So, this was $79, or this keyboard retails for $80. I bought it for $25.03, you know, because this is full disclaimer, I'm never going to try and hide the fact that I get these products cheaper than retail. I paid $25.03 for this. Like I've said in other videos, if I don't like the product, I'm going to try and eBay it first before I send it back. But I like this. I can highly recommend it. I actually gave it a 4-star review on Amazon. The styling of the faceplate I'm not too much of a fan of, but that's not important to me. The quality of the keyboard is what's important to me. So the fact that this keyboard has held up and not breaking on me, that's great. I like this. So what does it say? The title is Mechanical Gaming Keyboard IXCC Aluminum Base RGB Backlit Blue Switch Wired Gaming Keyboard. It's actually sold by IXCC, unlike the last one, or the last keyboard I reviewed that was marked Avaz, or Avaz, whatever, A-V-A-Z-Z. Couldn't remember for whatever reason. It was sold by Murdia, so it was some company trying to sell another company's products and market as their own. I don't dig that. So the listing does say it is aluminum base. To me, this is the base. That's not aluminum. The faceplate is aluminum, so maybe that's what they mean by base. I couldn't tell you. But before we close here, just show the back end, and I gotta say I really like that. That's super cool. But there is the model. It's the IXCC X7000, and it draws 300 milliamps. Which is pretty good, considering that it's an RGB keyboard, and LEDs are usually driven at like 11 milliamps. So these LEDs are driven very, very low, or there's just not one individual per key, which is something I can't tell you. Since I'd have to look underneath. Oh no, I can tell you. I couldn't see the LEDs before. So let me pull off these 3 keys. It is individual LEDs per key. That's kind of impressive. Then these LEDs are being driven very low, which means that they will last a long time. I dig that. This keyboard is going to last you. Metal construction, double injection molded what would you call those? Keycaps. Individual LEDs per key, driven at a very low amperage, which is awesome. And the cable is fairly high quality. I could definitely recommend this. Maybe not at the retailed $80 on Amazon right now. I mean, I didn't look anywhere else for this, but right now it's on sale for $80 actually. It was $140. I could not recommend this for that. But right now it's $80. That's pretty good. It's I think that's the same price range as the G-Skill KM70. G-Skill KM70 doesn't have an aluminum faceplate. It has actual Cherry MX switches, so you kind of get a trade-off there. These might not last you for the 50 million keystrokes that Cherry MX boasts, but I think this would do just fine. I think it could stand up to a G-Skill KM70 at this $80 price point. I personally wouldn't buy it, just because this is budget stuff, budget oriented, but I think it's a great buy. And obviously links will be down there in the description. I'll give links to this. No, I won't be selling this. I like this too much. I've got a mouse review. It's actually sitting over here, plus a mouse pad, which is really cool. Just gotta dump the SD card on this because it's getting a wee bit full. So that's coming up soon. I'm probably going to do that today as well. I'm thinking of renaming the playlist, or starting a new playlist and moving videos over that relate, and just call it Budget Computer Gear or something like that, because I dig it. I'll be able to test different things, and maybe I'll find a keyboard that's better than this, a mouse that's better than the one I got, for a competitive, comparable price range. But if you enjoyed this, then leave me a like, comment, let me know how you, or if you liked it. Give me some feedback. I really need to know what I can do better, what I'm doing wrong, that kind of thing. And then if you want to keep seeing more budget review stuff, subscribe, and probably won't be doing any more than what I've got set for this month, since we're almost over. But next month I'll be ordering in more keyboard, mouse. I've actually got a really cool power bank competition set up, where I'm going to get 5 of the 10,000 milliamp hour rated power banks that are all somewhat similar priced, and then test them to see which ones come closest to their supposed rating. But that's it for now. I will see you guys in the next one.